In the 2020s, a pandemic crippled the world. Some panicked, some denied it. These two guys stayed home, drank, and watched movies. These are the Jaymeson tapes.
Well done. Okay. God fucking damn it. All right. In the 2020s, existential dread crippled the world. Some panicked. Some denied it. These two guys invited us all over, drank, and made us watch things, and I will never forgive them for this. These are the Jaymeson tapes, live and from New York.
In California.
Fuck!
Different coast.
Yeah, okay, whatever.
Wrong coast.
Okay.
Hi, everyone. Hello. My name is Allen. I am one of the two hosts of the Jaymeson tapes.
And I'm Abysmii, the other host of the Jaymeson tapes.
And collectively, we are the hosts of the Jaymeson tapes.
Yes.
It's been a while since I've done this, but I have a shot of Jaymeson and some Smithwick's Red Ale. So I think it's time.
Wait! Before you drop it, though,
Yep.
remove the laptop
Yep.
so we don't, And
Chug, 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 chug,
chug, chug, chug, chug.
Yeah. There you go.
How was that?
We had a lot of raw fish earlier.
we sure did.
You okay?
I'm great. Hey, everyone. Welcome to the first ever live episode of the Jaymeson tapes.
In person.
In person. Yes, you are listening to a live podcast right now.
Yes, it's all live. And you're all hopefully alive to listen to this.
It'd be a Ouija board podcast.
With multiple people, not just the
This is a special
Yes.
episode in many ways. I think we've at the most had a single guest on this show.
Yep.
That was me.
And it was Kaela for Beyond the Black Rainbow.
Woo!
Which that movie slapped.
That movie slaps and is very good. And we watched another very good movie tonight.
Yeah, okay.
That's up for debate.
Hey, who are all these other voices that are present? You know, one of them is our first returning guest and our first guest, Kaela.
Hi.
In addition is some guy we found, David. Welcome to the show,
Oh, well,
David.
no,
You weren't a guest though.
I hijacked your show
Yeah, that's
with
not-
Kaela.
that's not-
Kayla had been on the show, gave me the keys, and we snuck in, and we.
We didn't give you permission for that.
No.
No, but I
Yeah.
didn't give you permission to hijack Undercooked Analysis, even though you're both the co-hosts of that show anyway. So
Yeah. But we
I
are
guess
also,
fair is fair.
But we are also joined by two additional guests. You might recognize this following voice as appearing on, I believe, on one of the Short Story 1 episodes of Undercooked Analysis. Please welcome Brad to the show.
Hi, everybody.
Hi,
And-
Dr. Nick.
And you have no idea who this guy is.
Hello.
This is Cas. Welcome to the show, Cas.
Hello. Happy
Cass-
to be here.
Cas is maybe even more than myself and Abysmii, one of the foremost experts on this film.
Yep.
Yeah.
In this film,
He's wearing a fucking shirt.
I am.
I did get him the shirt.
Okay, well, then, alright.
It was a birthday gift,
But I do wear it.
Yeah, he does
Unironically.
wear it
With
because
pride.
he has seen this movie more times than I have. And this movie is called Things.
Yes.
And
I hate you.
I have
No,
The
I hate Abysmii. He was the one who introduced it.
Yeah, that was me.
Do you want to give a history lesson on this?
I mean, our first viewing was Kaela, Allen, and I, and this was during 2020, I believe. This was still during lockdown, and I was just like, hey, you dudes want to watch a movie? Like, we're not recording this. I did record it, but, like, it's not an official episode. It's technically lost media at this point. And we just watched Things, and we were stupidly drunk for all of it. And
I wasn't. Why was I sober? I can't remember why I was.
Oh,
no,
I don't
because
know.
I had work the next day.
I also fucked up the order of this show. Hey, what's everyone drinking?
Oh, good point.
Oh,
yeah,
good
sorry
point.
about that.
No, that's totally on me. Abysmii, what you drinking?
I'm drinking Sublime by Long Beach Brewing. It is a Mexican lager, and I'm in Long Beach, so I figured I would take in a local beer, and it is delicious.
Is it? That is the logo for the band Sublime. I just
It
noticed
is.
that.
Who are-
It's sponsored?
Who are Long Beach natives?
Yeah. Wow. Cool. Kaela, what you been drinking?
I've been drinking gin and tonics, but specifically, the gin was supplied by Brad, which I really appreciate. It's an Empress brand with elderberry gin flavor. It is so good. It's been so good. I'm taking a break right now because I've already, before that, had like 2 shots of...
You gotta do what you gotta do to get through things.
Exactly.
It's true.
That's right.
We had sushi before this, and we had 2 shots of sake.
Gratuitous sake.
Oh, the restaurant was so kind because it was like 8 of us and we got a lot of food, and they're like, you know what? Do you want a shot of sake? And we're like, hell yeah, we want a shot of sake.
You know what? Shout out to Awesome Sushi in Long Beach.
Yeah.
That place was fucking awesome.
Yeah,
thank
that
you.
place was dope.
Oh, I go there quite a bit.
Lived
so-
up to its name.
And they actually were like, oh, great to see you again. I'm like, yep, I know you've seen me plenty of times. You see my name plenty of times because I order from you a lot.
So I had those, and then they gave us another round of sake shots.
Oh, yeah, a second free round.
And before that,
They were
Brad
like, oh,
had
yeah.
ordered 2 bottles, and I think I had
Oh, right.
3 from those.
At least 2.
They
Yeah.
actually came back and they're like, do you want a 3rd round? We're like, please no.
And I want to like, highlight to everybody listening. This is post COVID, and there is a restaurant handing out free liquor. That hasn't happened to me in 6 years.
Just to be ultra specific, she said, "I want to buy you all around."
Yes.
Yeah. She wasn't just like, I don't think it was like, oh, the restaurant's doing it for free. I genuinely think she bought us a round of shots.
Which is very cool.
Well, and
Yeah.
she said at one point, like, I can keep doing this. Like,
Yes.
Turns out
I'm
she-
so flabbergasted.
She gave us shots of all the sake that went bad.
Yeah.
We
Well,
were
I'm
gonna
feeling
shit our
fine.
pants
I'm
later.
feeling good.
You're all going to have things burst out of your stomachs later.
Yeah.
I'm okay with it.
Oh, do you think that's why they call it that?
David, what have you been drinking?
Well, I'm not drinking it now, but earlier during our viewing, I was drinking a mix of Bacardi rum with Sunset Sarsaparilla
Hell yeah.
from Jones Soda, available at your local supermarket if you're on the East Coast. Strangely enough, when we went there, they had none of the other Jones Fallout soda brands. They only had Sunset Sarsaparilla, which makes sense because it is predominantly an East or a West Coast brand in the lore of Fallout. So there you go.
Yep.
It was good.
Shout out Jones Soda.
Yeah, honestly, good job,
Brad,
Jones.
what you drinking?
Well, so I started with 2 bottles of Nigori sake, and then that was just unflavored. And then we had another 2 shots of mango and yuzu Nigori sake.
I think the yuzu was the best.
That
Yeah,
yuzu was
yuzu.
phenomenal.
David,
yes.
if you were with us, you would have really liked
I
this.
probably would have, but I had to duck out
It was-
and then come back later
Yeah,
to.
David had a rehearsal for a show coming out. So.
Yeah, I'm always busy.
And then when I got here, I got everyone all smoky moonshine shots. I've had 2 of those. And half a bottle of Blue Chair Bay banana rum cream.
Which is very good.
And it's real good.
Cass?
Yes, I am with you drinking Jaymeson and ginger ale. And then I picked up a pack of Gothica Mexican lager from the Black Plague Brewing.
Shout
Also
out to
very
our
good.
local liquor store as well.
Yep. I probably wouldn't want to be too specific
Yeah.
about where,
Yeah,
just
yeah.
because
What-
people
what
will
do you mean,
triangulate our location. So let's not do that. But local liquor store is a good one. We got some good shit there. It rules.
Hi, I'm Alan.
What are you drinking?
I had, I think, 3 shots of the Nigori sake, and then the mango, and then the yuzu. I am on beer 3 of Smithwick's Red Ale in a can.
Yeah.
And I've had 3 triples of I got the triple Jaymeson, which is both triple distilled and triple casked.
Triple Cas?
Casked.
Cascade.
And I did a shot of banana pudding Old Smoky Moonshine, and I'm going to do a shot of coffee Old Smoky Moonshine right now as well.
Oh, okay.
The coffee's good.
Check.
I like the coffee. I'm gonna mix it with my banana cream rum. Call me crazy.
That does not
Why would I
sound-
do that? Your name is Brad.
I would have another drink, but I have to work tomorrow. So.
I have to work tomorrow.
And then
Oh,
we have to be up at 5 in the morning.
We all got shit to do.
Yeah,
So,
but-
can we talk about this bullet to the head? already?
And then you also heard me do a Boilermaker that was the Smithwick's Red Ale and a shot of the Jaymeson. And I'm feeling pretty toasty, and we watched a movie.
We did.
Sure did.
We watched Things.
So who hadn't seen it?
I hadn't.
I had
David and
David
Brad?
and Brad had not seen it.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll start with your thoughts.
Can we start with the history, I guess, of who's seen it?
Yeah. Okay.
So, pandemic, Abby's like, hey, we're going to watch Things. And I'm like, yep, it's pandemic times.
I learned about it from Red Letter Media, and they
Like we learn about most things.
they loosely kind of talk about it and how they exposed their friend Rich Evans to it. And I was like, this sounds really interesting. So fuck it, it can't be that bad. And it's a
The first time,
tour. It's a tour de force of a movie.
Yeah.
I'll say that
the
much.
first time I watched it, I got angry at Abby. I'm like, why the fuck did you make me watch this? I hate you. And then Alan says, hey, guess who I forced to watch this? Guess what I did? I forced for other friends to watch
I made
it.
other people watch it.
Yep.
I made DeMarcus and Cass watch it.
Yep, at my house.
And so the way I put it is Abysmii, Kaela, and I were like the patient zeros of this movie, and Cass is a super spreader.
I had rented Things so many times that it made more sense just to buy it.
Yeah.
Because it was like $2.99 to rent it, and I rented it like 4 or 5 times. And then to buy it, it was $7.99. So I now own a digital copy of Things.
Also, for his I think birthday,
Yeah.
I got him a T-shirt
With
featuring
the
the film
The film
poster cover.
Sure.
Well, it doesn't make a
Whatever.
whole lot of sense because
No, it doesn't.
the drill that he's holding in his hand isn't in the movie.
Nope.
And that face that's on the T-shirt, if you're listening, you'll have to imagine what the face is. Also, doesn't appear in the movie either.
I don't think that set of horns appears in the movie.
It does.
Does it? Okay.
It does.
It's in the Dr. Lucas's
Oh,
office.
Yeah,
right,
Dr.
right,
Lucas's
right,
office,
right.
yeah.
As a direct response to that, there is a store in San Diego called Reanimated Records that has a bunch of really good horror DVDs and just all sorts of cool shit. Shout
You
out
say
to that.
really good,
Really?
but is that the place where you also bought some of those really fucking terrible movies we watched that night?
No. But they have, and it may still be there, a like 25th or whatever anniversary of the release of Things, like DVD set with behind the scenes, and it's $50 fucking. And I was
I'll buy
like,
it.
you know what? I'm dumping money on that.
Yeah.
And then I checked the CD, as you always should, and it is scratched to shit. It is waterlogged, and I was like, no, this is not gonna work.
That sucks.
Which makes me very sad because I think everyone in this room wants to know the behind-the-scenes story of this.
I would
Absolutely.
kill.
If it was a super damaged CD, I absolutely would. But
Yeah.
There's another very terrible movie that I became obsessed with, called Getaven.
My heart's on fire when you take me by the hand.
Yep, that's the one. And they released Vinegar Syndrome released a.
And Brad hasn't seen that one either.
I gotta make.
we're
Oh,
gonna
see, I
Okay.
enjoyed getting
I
it.
think you will legitimately enjoy that much
Getaven
more than
is
Things.
amazing.
Getaven is is
So my
better
my
movie.
current girlfriend asked me about like my love for bad movies, and I mentioned Getaven, and I didn't even get to all the things I loved about the film, and I talked to her about it for 45 minutes. We should have done an episode on Getaven. Anyway, we're talking about.
You could still do an episode.
We're gonna talk about things. We have to talk about things. We all just watched things, so we're gonna do an episode
Isn't that how every podcast
on
works?
things.
We have to talk about things.
We could just sit in abject silence for 45 minutes.
Listen,
Well, we could
a group of white people is called a podcast.
Yeah.
We could sit in abject silence for at least 7 minutes, like they do in the movie,
Oh, true. That is true.
without shirts.
No, it's abject of dialogue. It's not abject silence.
I don't think there's ever really a silent moment in the entire movie.
Well, no, with the electrical noise that occasionally just gets blurted in.
And the random music that, or well, no, I say random, it's intentional. But
Brad,
It's
Yeah.
intentional
So-
music, you are correct.
So Abysmii and I have seen this before, but I think our biggest laugh of this viewing was just electrical noise coming in very suddenly.
well, yeah, of course.
It's a good movie.
It's a great movie.
you want to explain what the movie's about?
What thing, you know,
Well,
Okay.
perhaps we should turn
All
to
right.
Brad.
Okay.
things is...
I'm going to. So here's the thing I was doing for this viewing of the movie that I have not done for my previous viewings. I think this is my 4th time watching this movie.
Same.
Yeah.
What I tried to do this time is I tried really, really hard to follow the plot and everything that was happening the whole time.
It was honestly easier this time for me.
There's still something
I feel like I got it.
can't. There's still something I can never wrap my head around.
Okay.
And it's what was going on with the news updates about how they were missing and they were presumed dead.
Oh,
And then they were found after 2 weeks.
I have an idea of what that was. Sorry, what were you saying?
I was gonna say I can see David just start like looking down like I have no idea what I just
David's just got this 1,000-yard stare in his eyes.
I think I for the most part followed the plot of this film entirely.
The news
But
updates.
the news update thing with Amber Lynn.
I have a
I have an
guess.
idea.
I want to hear Brad's
well,
guess.
Well, I want to hear Brad's guess, but I also want to hear David's guess.
Yeah,
This is the
we-
first time David's ever seen it.
I
as
do,
well.
to start things off properly, want to hear the opinions of both Brad and David, who have never seen the film before.
David has the most
I'll
perplexed
let-
look on
David
his
looks
face I've ever
like
seen
he
in my life.
wants to be anywhere else on the planet now.
Here's what I want to say is I kind of want David to go first because I have a feeling, just based on a couple of things you've said already, that we might have very different opinions.
Okay. Fair enough. Well, trying to wrap my head around anything in this movie is very hard. And the kindest thing I can say is about this movie is at least it's not science crazed.
That's
Yes.
a low bar. But
That is the lowest possible bar.
Yeah.
You guys,
Okay.
Have you guys done a
Now,
Jaymeson tapes on Science
No.
Crazy?
We have not.
No, that was
I
just
will
not
say,
human.
the first time we watched Things, I declared it as the worst film I had ever seen.
Yes.
Yeah.
Right.
I have since then seen a couple of movies I think are worse.
That's the funny thing is that people say it's the worst one, and I'm like, but it's not though.
Yeah.
It's not the worst.
I think
when,
so-
when,
in my life.
when I first saw it, I was like, "This is the worst."
I have
Jaymeson tape
since
I've ever
then
seen.
Yeah.
watched Science Crazed, and I think it's worse.
Yes.
Yes.
I've also seen, it was another Red Letter Media movie. I can't remember the name of it. It was the one where they hang up all the fucking paper on the walls.
Oh fuck!
Oh, I know what you're talking about.
Season in
It's the one where there's like a ghost or whatever, right?
Season in Autumn or something.
It's something like that.
It was
Yeah.
really
that was
pretentious.
pretty
I have
god-awful.
since watched that film, and I didn't watch it with anyone else. I watched
Oh,
it by
no.
myself.
Oh no.
But I think those two movies are worse than this one.
Yeah,
But this is a phenomenally bad movie.
it's just as far as
If I can break kayfabe for a moment.
I mean, like, okay, this movie's poor track record is from its execution. Like, say what you want about the writing or lack thereof. The problem is that it's just a clusterfuck of poor editing choices, both pre, during, and post filming, and all of them collide at different points and with different intersections. and you don't quite know which one you're going to see at any given time. Yeah. So your first viewing is, wait, what just happened?
But the lighting, though, right? The
lighting is fantastic. It's almost hypnagogic.
Right.
Like, honestly, Panos Cosmatos, I think, is familiar with things.
Yeah.
I think we interrupted David.
Yeah,
we did. Sorry, David.
Okay. So you wanted to, trying to make sense of anything in this movie is damn near impossible, I think, for the most part. However, I did, as much as I feigned wanting to walk out of the room, and by feigned I mean actually genuinely wanted to walk out of the room and do something that would actually be entertaining other than this. Although, again, watching this in company and with alcohol in my system certainly helps. With that in mind, what I think was happening, and it didn't make a lot of sense to me, but what I think was happening is we're getting these news reports, and we established they're supposed to be in, like, Grizzly Flats, California, right?
Yes.
Yeah. So they're from New York, and they had been missing for 14 days.
Yes. Incorrect on one point already.
Right? Wasn't that it? I don't remember.
I don't blame you, but you're incorrect on one point already.
Okay, well, they had been missing. People had thought they were missing.
Yeah.
Someone saw them checking out of a hotel somewhere. Didn't they have to... And I was getting the impression at a certain point, I'm like, oh, these news reports are a red herring, because it's like... supposed to be reporting on the fact that they've been missing, and you were supposed to foreshadow, and they are never seen again after this situation in the friggin' in the house with the things. But then they say that they were found, and I'm like, wait, what? I'm like, oh, was this all stuff that happened before they got dropped off by their friend in Grizzly Flats to go see Doug? I don't know. It's Dawn and Fred. I can't believe I don't even remember the characters' names. Dawn and Fred go there, and I think that's what the news reports are supposed to be. I still don't have any fucking clue why they're there, but that's just what I...
What were the name of the main characters of Beneath the Shadows? What were their names?
Yep.
Better movie than Beneath the Shadows. We remember the characters and things. Sorry.
Well, because one of them is like, okay, Fred is the one that looks like Jim Henson.
Yeah.
Dawn...
George Lucas.
Kind of like... halfway between George Lucas and Jim Henson, and you have Fred.
So what would happen if they came together and just made Star Wars?
If they made it.
I'm up at Star Wars.
By themselves.
Dawn is this one.
I mean, yeah.
Technically.
Say if George Lucas didn't have to outsource anything, he's just like, hey, I already own my own creature workshop. Hi-ho.
Industrial Light and Magic.
Well, they got Frank Oz in Star Wars to voice Yoda. So.
Well, the Jim Henson Creature Workshop built the creatures for Star Wars. I'm pretty sure. I mean, Yoda and everything.
Yeah,
so,
but my point is, I remember that, and then Don is the
younger brother with the mustache.
He's got the blue sweater and the stupid mustache.
Yes.
And Doug is got the big Coke, almost Coke bottle glasses.
Yeah.
And
he's the one that burps really loud.
He burps and farts at several intervals. He's married to Susan.
Several decibels too.
Yep. And Susan, he wants to get Susan pregnant. They want to have a kid, but they can't do it.
Yeah.
So they go to see Dr. Lucas, and there's a whole scene that feels like a fucking non sequitur, just I guess to point out how fucking evil Dr. Lucas actually is. But it all is gets so surreal. Yeah. I can't tell if it's intentional or incompetence that you lose track of like what is actually happening at a certain point. But if you ask me about my opinion about the news reports, that's what I think is going on.
Okay.
That's me.
Okay.
Brad.
Over to Brad.
Apparently.
So, the news reports are just there to show the passage of time.
Yes.
That's it. They are scene transitions. This is my opinion. I'm not saying this is objectively true, but this is my opinion. They are scene transitions throughout to break up the tension.
Oh, sorry.
Hey Siri.
No. Brad, you're wrong. Try again.
Yeah.
Try a different interpretation.
Things is a terrible movie.
I think they're just there because they're talking about other things, and it's supposed to be like
Other things.
It's supposed to be like whenever you get the reports of these two guys, a little bit more time has passed. It's like they've gone missing. Oh, now they've been missing for X number of days. And then at the end, that last news report was part of his dream when he was in the closet. Which is why I think you may have been confused about something with that one. Because it was like, they've been found. And then it was like, oh, was this all a dream?
So wait, Fred.
How would he have a dream about a news report that he hadn't seen?
You know,
All right,
hey, I'm not
so
saying.
actually, I
I'm
have an
not
idea.
saying that
I have an
it's,
idea about
I
that. Amber Lynn was one of the porn stars of the porno that they were watching on the television.
But that would
And so
imply that
he
he is
her
listening to
face
all of the
on the
news
news.
reports.
I mean, totally possible. So, okay.
I need to interject for something entirely unrelated.
Yeah.
This is a This is a my mom news update.
Okay.
So over the pandemic,
Yes.
I showed my mom basically the entirety of the MCU at the time,
Oh wow.
and she fell in love with it.
Right. I remember you telling me that.
So while I've been here, she said to me, "What did you think of Fantastic Four?" I said, "Loved it." And she was like, "I'm watching it now," and she asked me to explain like the timeline it's in.
Sure.
What she messaged me just now is, "I like that a lot. So now we are watching the one from 2015." I just responded, "Don't do that."
Good.
The Miles Teller one.
No.
Oh, yeah.
Good.
So all right. So my opinion as to like the plot, because that's what you're asking, right? It's like what do I think?
What is
the
your
plot
overall
is?
opinion of the film?
Okay. See, I didn't realize.
Well,
We're
just
getting
do the plot for now, and then we'll go back.
Okay.
Okay.
My guess as to what's happening with the plot is that Doug and his wife Susan are trying to get pregnant.
Yes.
But they're having fertility issues, so they go and see a doctor that they don't know is kind of a shady guy. Which they then establish later by showing him kind of torturing a patient. He has a dream at the beginning that's really unhinged, that is showing his sort of fear of the entire process of becoming a father. And then there's a lot of...
A la Eraserhead.
She ends up dying from...
Which is foreshadowing.
Yeah. And a lot of what happens after that feels like a psychological analysis of what happens when you're in your 30s and you're trying to maintain friendships.
Whilst being a father.
What does the dead spider on the bread sandwich represent?
That is foreshadowing for the things. It's putting a thing inside you and the things coming out of you. And can you trust your friends?
So to you, and correct me if I'm wrong, the things in the movie are manifestations of anxiety, panic, insecurity of the changing of I am going from this, not necessarily a bachelor, but I am, a somewhat untethered person, and then suddenly I have this new human being that I have to tether my life to, and everything after that, as far as my social life, all of that is gone, and this is my insecurity around that.
Yes, and just the passage of time and age, and how that changes relationships, because these weren't friends that presumably saw each other all the time. Two of them had to make a special trip just to see Doug.
And they did make fun of Doug for being so fat.
Well, they made fun of Doug for a lot of things.
I think that's a very
they
healthy, robust, and cerebral interpretation, and it is way, way more intelligent than the people who made this film.
What do you think is represented by the scene in which Doug has the flashlight and he's searching around and he's in silence looking around?
I didn't really let on
bathroom.
too much on this viewing, but my first viewing of the movie, nothing like simultaneously angered and overjoyed me more.
David is
Then-
checking out.
I'll just be here.
Nothing simultaneously angered and overjoyed me more than a solid 5 minutes of a dude with no shirt on shining a flashlight around an empty bathroom.
Yes.
Very small bathroom.
And so why did he take his shirt off? Because it had the blood of his friend on it, and so tortured by the concept. Not it's not even the realization, but the concept of the loss of a friend. He had to strip that off, and then following that, there is a long sequence of no dialogue, which I thought was very artfully done.
I agree. Ironically, I agree.
And the lighting. I made a comment.
You did.
that the lighting during that scene was really nice at certain parts, and I was saying that I thought that there's a really strong connection between things that they are doing that are unsafe and red lighting, and things that they are doing being safe or moving towards safety and blue lighting.
God, I wish that was consistent throughout the film, but okay.
Okay, so I, as soon as I made that comment, I tried to continue to watch it. I feel like the lighting did a good job. Also, Don wears a blue jumper the entire time, and he is the one to survive.
The problem is, though,
Dawn
Brad,
is our final girl.
Dawn is wearing a
But he
black
doesn't.
leather jacket in the shirt that I'm wearing.
Listen,
right
that image is not canon.
That image is...
This is the image
It is
on...
anachronistic.
This is the image that's on
Brad, I have a question.
Yes.
the DVD
I
cover.
want to know how this ropes into your overall arching theory.
Sure.
Explain the friend who gets sucked into a different dimension
That we don't
Yes.
see.
and then reappears randomly
You know,
with
I-
an electric chainsaw.
Right.
That we don't see.
I think that is a representation of how sometimes friends can be a little flaky. Friends can kind of leave your life, but that doesn't mean that they don't care about you. They'll come back when you need them the most.
It could be a
I think it's very optimistic,
Thank you.
but I appreciate
be like it's kind of like a commentary on addiction, how you might lose a friend to an addiction and you have the blood of like losing that person to something that they care about more than they care about you, and that's what the blood represents. But then he comes back empowered, having broken his addiction, having that chainsaw as a powerful figure going around killing more
But
things.
he still perishes.
Yeah, he
God,
does.
I feel like I'm in film school and talking to flamethrows again.
Can I buy some pot
Serious
from you?
Movie.
I think so. Okay.
And
I
then
feel
trying
your
to talk
pain,
to-
Kayla.
And then trying to fucking talk to them about Fight Club and them getting it completely wrong. I'm like, dude, you know this was written by a gay man, right? It's not that fucking.
He does perish, but
Anyways.
at it's kind of his own will at that point that he does end up dying. He kind of sustains his life as long as possible before ultimately kind of allowing himself to pass on.
Does he allow himself because he's crying out for help the entire time?
Well, you know, it's
I think more than possibly a narrative on addiction, you could look at some of the things being done as choices of like how people realistically take actions and how selfish or selfless they're being when they make those actions. Don, the only reason Jeff dies, it's Jeff, right?
sure it is
Fred, I'm so sorry. Fred. The only reason, I'll get back to that. The only reason Fred dies is because Don is scared and can't go and help him. And he gets sort of eaten up.
Can't
But-
or won't?
Well, that's
yeah, I
fine.
mean that's a good point. But the same thing happens between Doug and Susan.
True.
Doug really wants to have a child, so much so that in his dream he is very directly and somewhat disturbingly indicating how much he wants a child, and his decision, he might, like, obviously it was, in reality it was probably a joint decision, but if he's feeling guilty about it, he might blame himself for Susan's death because Susan died because they sought fertility treatments.
Can I expound upon Brad's theory
Yeah.
here a little bit? Is this not perhaps maybe an overarching metaphor for fragile masculinity?
Ooh.
Think about
I see it. I can see that actually.
Think about how
true.
uncomfortable all the men are with other men in this film. They can't have a real conversation, and when shit actually hits the fan,
make fun of each
they're
other.
still trying to make fun of each other while also trying to balance the fact that, oh my god, we're all fucked, but they can't actually take action without trying to crack a joke because they are so insecure.
I think that's a really valid take. Even Don at a certain point when he wants to get drunk, he wants to have beer with his friends, but he realizes it doesn't kind doesn't like the taste of this beer.
Yeah.
And instead of just saying, like...
Even going further than that, later on, when, like...
I mean, the number
When
of
he
times I
drinks the
said,
whiskey.
why are you still here?
Yeah.
Why are you still drinking this beer?
Fair. You could leave it any.
Even later on, when he and Doug are trying to enjoy a drink, they kind
have
of...
the whiskey.
Doug has, like, a breakdown moment. Not when they're trying to have a drink, when... Other guy from Doug. Don. When Don is trying to joke around and Doug says something to the effect of, like, I can't make jokes. You're making jokes at a time like this.
Yeah,
He's trying to be the grown-up.
Yeah.
He tells the story about Harold that gets... he starts out very skinny and then he gets fat and gets made fun of. And
Well, we can come back to that and analyze it all day.
Yeah.
But...
Yeah. No, I agree. I think it could be a commentary.
But the moment where, like, Don is trying to, like, joke around and, like, have fun, and Doug says, no, it's time to be the grown-up. It's time to be the adult.
Yeah.
In that he's trying to move on to this next phase of his life, but his friends aren't letting him.
Yeah, so Don and then eventually Don pours whiskey on Doug's head.
As a
kind
joke.
and kind of emasculates him in that way too. He sees Doug try to be the bigger man.
Emasculates him, but it's also kind of like a baptism.
What the
Baptism
fuck?
by whiskey.
Yeah.
Well, and now that we're talking about it, the fact that, like, they never acknowledge the fact that, oh, dude, you're trying to have a kid and it's rough for you.
Yeah.
A real friend, a real human being would be like, I sympathize. I'm very sorry about that. That must be really hard.
But he's not he's not interested in being supportive. He wants his old friend.
Exactly.
He doesn't want him
his
to
brother,
move on to that next phase of
his
his
brother. He's losing his actual
the
brother.
fact that his friend is trying to, like, have a kid is ancillary and at some point destructive and, like, a threat to their friendship.
Well, I will say, to Don's defense, he does bring up the fact that Susan is dead, and he's one of the only, like, characters that does it.
True.
That says,
True.
like, what are you doing? Susan's dead. Like you fucked up, Doug. I think he was talking to Doug at the time as well, saying, like, you fucked up. Susan's dead. Like, you can't be a parent. You can't. You're not a husband anymore either. So
There's a little bit of Peter Pan to it.
A little bit.
Like Don not wanting to grow up and
Holy shit.
Think about it.
Doug wanting to move on to,
And
have a family.
You know, if I could have, I feel like I'm back in film school right now. And this is like the guys trying to, like, trying to find meaning in a movie that doesn't have meaning.
Okay, let's clarify. I'm not trying to find meaning in a movie that doesn't have it. I'm trying to psychoanalyze the people who made it, because this is a very sophomoric effort. As someone who was a very sophomoric person, like, it's difficult not to see insecurities in this profession.
Yeah, so, yes, I agree. There's masculine fragility. That does exist. This is also the 1989. This is probably a lot of jokes that these guys made between each other. These are a few guys that were like, hey, let's make a horror film. And they definitely got inspired by
Evil Dead.
Evil Dead.
They make direct references to Evil Dead and Evil Dead 2.
And
George Romero.
And they were trying to do something fun. And somehow had, a contact with the Amber Lynn. I don't know how they got her.
I was gonna bring that up.
Is-
What do you
that is a
think?
good question.
Why do you think they hired Amber Lynn? Do you think that
because
is
they knew
also-
her. They got
Because they're a
contact.
bunch of horny fucks.
That's-
why.
Yeah,
that is
somehow.
what I was gonna say, because not only
fragile
did they
masculinity.
get, I mean, yes,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yes.
Not only did they get Amber Lynn, but
They got Johnny too.
they mention Tracy Lords.
Yeah.
Lords,
Oh,
yeah.
right.
And then they have a moment too
But-
where they leave what seems to be like a blooper on
Yeah.
when they're
At
talking about Tracy Lords.
But that was an intentional editing choice.
So
Yes.
Because we can see when they fuck up in this edit, and then we can see where they're like, no, leave that in.
This is okay. Here's what I can tell you. These are few guys. The two definitely the main ones, like
At
Don
least
and
5.
Doug. Don and Doug, whatever, are just guys that like to enjoy drinking beer, but they wanted to make a film and they wanted to make a horror film. And they got inspired,
And the dialogue they're making is just inspired by, one, a lot of tropes between guys.
Yes.
And probably conversations they have between themselves. And they are trying to make a horror film, trying to make it tense, but don't really know how. And unfortunately, these aren't actors. They're just guys who genuinely love film.
Well, I mean, they are actors.
They are.
They are actors, but they're not
fantastic
talented
actors.
actors.
Legally, they are actors.
They're great actors.
I mean, I'm legally an actor,
I'm legally an actor too.
Here's what I what I would add to that, just as like I guess finding the silver lining sort of thing.
Yeah.
Is
I think the silver. Okay, go ahead.
Were there editorial choices that were like just definitively bad?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. But like they didn't edit it themselves; they sent it to a company to be edited.
Mm-hmm.
These were amateurs, so the acting is going to be at a certain level. They had to ADR most of the film. So it seems like there was a lot of stuff that went wrong for them on top of them maybe being unprepared.
In my brain, the silver lining in this is these are a couple guys who are passionate, who actually genuinely have a love for film.
Yes.
And wanted to make a film together.
Yeah.
And had the means to do it. Were they talented in it? No. But they did try. It's one of those, congratulations, you made a movie. That is a very difficult thing to do.
If I could be the most generous in my actual like breaking kayfabe opinion, this is a movie made by a bunch of incels. Had a weird string of luck.
I think Fred Fox.
Fred does fuck.
Fred Fox.
I'll give you that.
Fred Fox.
Fuck. Can we do a shot to Fred?
To Fred.
Fred Fox.
Fred Fox. That's for sure.
No, let's do that. The Bridge Guy fucks too.
Bridge Guy Fox, but we don't.
Oh yeah, Bridge Guy.
My larger point is the fact that this
Amberlynn
was done.
Fox.
This was done by Amberlynn by definition.
She made fucking a career.
Yeah. There is video evidence.
My larger point is that this was born out of a time where a bunch of incels with a fucking camera could just make a film, and like by some miracle of the universe, it has entered into the popular consciousness via Red Letter Media, via us, via Cas.
This movie.
It's kind of a beautiful thing, but it also shouldn't be lauded too hard.
Well, they've made at least $20 off of me.
I've
given them
$20. Word of mouth. The word of mouth has.
This movie ending up in our lives is a gift, because there are so many. If I had made a movie in my early 20s, it wouldn't be this bad, but it'd be bad. But
same.
I never followed through and made that movie.
Yeah.
And you know what? They did that shit.
They did it.
They did.
They did multiple rounds of editing, and that's not fucking easy.
They took an afternoon and shot a movie.
Yeah. Wait. Okay.
Maybe I would say maybe a day. I think they shot it a day.
But okay. So
maybe.
Maybe.
I think we're like shot in a week. I'm gonna give him a little more.
It's so hard to tell.
Yeah, it's hard.
I think in a lot of ways,
one continuous shot.
So Alan mentioned being lucky that this survived.
Well, you mentioned
you can watch it.
You mentioned one continuous shot. The Amberlynn stuff was clearly shot like 4 months after they filmed all this other shit.
Yeah.
But what about Johnny Scott?
So Alan mentioned feeling lucky that this has survived, that we can watch it at all. I agree. Mm-hmm. I feel lucky to have watched it with alcohol in my system and with a bunch of friends.
Yes.
Because I'm sure that has made the viewing experience better, probably all around. But with movies like this, like you can look at the effort that went into it and acknowledge that without even starting to get critical on like the actual finished product, right? You can look at it and you go, okay, this is a group of people that accomplished something. But then on top of that, I think because of all of the struggles they faced, some of which were their own doing, the joy that you find in this is mostly going to be inserted. So me being able. Well, no, me being able to, okay, yes, maybe Schadenfreude. Maybe Schadenfreude for sure. But me being able to say, oh, the lighting, like, oh, maybe there's this fun. Yeah, they almost certainly did not intend for that.
Yeah.
And I can find some joy out of my speculation on it that is likely of no real import or had no weight during the actual production process.
See, now when Alan showed it to me and DeMarcus, we were stone cold sober. There was not a whole lot of crosstalk. There was not a whole lot of commentary.
And you all hate each other.
And, well, no, we were with friends, but we watched it straight on. The only commentary being Alan saying, like, okay, this next part's important. Hey, this is a nuanced thing. Like, pay attention to this. And it was, I mean, we have video evidence of that reaction now too. So it's very much like, we didn't have anything in our system, so we're getting it all straight to the face. And so that's why I'm like, well, now I've got to bring it to everyone else.
I just wanted to let the both of you know that nothing overjoys me, and probably Abysmii more, that there has never been more actual film analysis on this podcast.
Than what has just happened.
Okay, Beyond the Black Rainbow.
And, what was that Southern American film?
Oh,
Africa Springs.
Where Evil Lurks?
And granted, that film fucked us up.
Yeah.
I would say...
That movie was fantastic,
That
and
movie
I
was
could
amazing.
safely never watch it ever again.
No, this is definitely one of the, like, admittedly the top 3 actual episodes of film analysis.
Yeah.
I'm happy that it was spent on things.
And it was for things.
So, what do you guys think
that's
about...
the thing, because sometimes you just watch something and you go, why?
You have to bring another perspective.
You know, we should have had a tally for every time we say the word thing.
Yeah, we should.
What do you guys think about the dog dying?
That sucked.
I sucked.
like
What do you think that represents, Brad?
It represents killing a dog. Fuck that.
Nothing. That was gratuitous.
Yeah,
Fair enough.
that
There's
was
a lot of
just-
scenes in this film that are gratuitous.
The reason they did it is because there's always this thing has appeared, and oh shit, it's a showing that it is dangerous, and they kill something that is not as big as a human.
The reason they wanted to kill the dog
precious.
is so later they could have Dawn discovering it and doing fake vomit.
vomit,
And oh my
yeah.
god, we have a fake vomit scene. Ooh.
Yeah.
But could it also represent the loss of childhood innocence?
No, it's mostly a
I
reference.
really was about to say something similar, though.
It's probably like a reference to the movie The Thing, or like.
Maybe.
But why would Dawn vomit at the sight of a dead dog
And not the sight of the dead humans?
Because he had nowhere else to put it.
Well, it's also a very common trope when in a lot of, I don't want to say film, but in a lot of horror stories where they see something so gross and disgusting that they vomit.
perhaps.
I think they were sort of again, this is the joy I am putting into this film. My speculation would be that they're sort of conflating that feeling of becoming overwhelmed with emotion and therefore vomiting because it is the loss of something precious,
something innocent.
Not necessarily the loss of innocence, but even if we're going back to the idea of like this story being something about aging or something about the passage of time, then you also have what is one time when a lot of people in their early adulthood, they have like a memory of like death before and after, and it's like usually an animal. It's a family pet has died, and
well, I think it's also that Don was kind of cold to the rest of the humans in the cast. He made fun of his brother. he poked fun with Fred, and so it could just be that, like, you know, he doesn't really care that another human dies,
but he cares very deeply when his brother is hurt.
He does, and
so it's very convenient that he like somebody says, "Oh,
he
look,
does.
Dog. Oh my god!"
But then when he's dead, he's also still calling him fat. And it's
that's that fragile masculinity.
The vomiting is a chance for the man to show his emotion while not being observed.
I just want to take a moment to talk about the fact that I've never seen David just
1,000-yard stare,
wildly dissociating.
I can tell he totally is like, this is utter.
Why am I even here?
I think that's how he got through the movie. Mildly dissociating.
Okay.
I did laugh harder when we watched Beyond the Black Rainbow, though. I will say.
Well, okay. For
David, how did you?
What was the leather company?
What was your favorite part of the movie?
Can we? Well, I'll get to that when we get to the spider room moment.
Hold on. What was the name of the leather company from Beyond the Black Rainbow?
Yeah, I just re-listened to that episode.
It was Balenciaga.
Noriega leather.
Noriega leather.
What are you wearing? I'm so glad you asked.
Remember, that's my Panos Cosmatos, so I think it's familiar with things.
What was your favorite part of the movie?
Oh yeah, sorry.
Wait, no. We'll that's the thing.
I will say the music isn't terrible.
I do want to talk about the music because it's like.
And what I mean
is
the
oddly catchy.
Music
I don't mean the background music.
Strychnine is a great name for a band.
Not the background music.
Strychnine is not who made the banger song.
The Familiar Strangers
The
song.
Familiar Strangers did a song
I'm
called,
going to disagree and say the background music made by Gillis is actually good because it is, yes, very minimalistic and it's not recorded well, but it does fit.
It gave me a sort of almost a Twin Peaks vibe.
Yes, it's minimalist. No, I'm seriously, it's minimalist and it actually does work. And it does like get into you and like as an earworm. Like if there was better editing, I don't think anyone would question it. Like if you re-recorded those piano passages a little bit better, you made them a little bit of reverb, everyone would be like, you know what? I'll appreciate this almost like Glass-esque passage here. Like people would fucking say that. Like
I think it's also the background music is a little
maybe some John Carpenter comparisons.
I do think the background music's a little too loud.
Oh well, that's just that's a recording.
That's the equalization, because I was turning up and turning down the volume the whole movie.
A lot of the post production.
There's portions where it was just like DX7 FM synth. We're just gonna blare the shit. And they're like, no, dude, you need to scale that back.
I wonder if the music was so good in comparison to the script and the acting of the movie, taking away and leaving you wanting more from the movie, that you are accepting more from the music.
I mean, we talk about the 7 minutes of like no dialogue and just weird shit happening, but weirdly enough, the vacuum of dialogue with the like almost oppressive atmospheric sounds works as an experimental passage. It does unironically work.
My guess as to why some of it was mixed incorrectly is probably that they might have mixed it to when they were using the bad audio. Because if you listen, to the bad dialogue audio, they had a bunch of background noise in it. So I'm wondering if they mixed the background music over that and then went and ADR'd everything.
Well, and recall the fact that they put this through like 3 rounds of editing. If I was a mastering engineer on this, I'd be like, I don't know what the fuck you want me to do with this.
Imagine
so much you can do.
I need you to imagine you're an editor, and you were handed this project that had already gone through 2 rounds of editing. And we're told that it had already gone through 2 rounds of editing. And this is what you were given.
You're not given any stems. You were given a master track and fuck all else.
My guess, is that they didn't have any lapels.
No.
They didn't have any lobs. They didn't have any booms. No. That they were just using the camera audio. And those cameras, notoriously, because they had motors in them, would pick up motor noise.
And so they had to go back and re-record over everything. But then at that point, they had to re-record everything and they forgot what they
Because
said.
they never made a script.
So what do you think that represents? Why do you think they recorded over everything?
It doesn't represent anything.
Yeah,
It's
Fuck.
just incompetency. That's all that is.
That doesn't represent.
That's just
that's-
incompetency.
That's
The
absolutely
duality of like insanity in a fucked up situation.
No, it's just
where
laziness.
You can't.
No, that yeah.
Maybe
That's
you
more-
can't.
more-
You can't
more
necessarily remember what
No,
happens
no.
in a traumatic experience.
I'm not. No, Cass.
You can't. Maybe
Cass.
so traumatic.
Cass.
that
I'm not coming along on the bit for this one.
You're
No.
misremembering what you
Wrong.
said or
Also
what
wrong.
happened.
Wrong.
Also more likely than laziness is ignorance, I would say.
Ignorance,
It is possible that they were just like, oh, we can cut corners, but my guess is that they didn't know what they were doing.
No, they didn't. No, they didn't.
That's really what it is. Okay, I've been.
Yes.
Why the fuck?
Jump in.
I've been waiting. Excuse me. Why the fuck was there a fucking ghostly voice distorted recording audio thing in the freezer? What does that represent? Huh?
Okay. Thank you.
What is that? How does that have a bearing on anything?
I want to hear Alan's take on this.
Thank you. It doesn't. That is actually one of the two references to Evil Dead 2.
Oh. Okay.
Why does Doug have a picture of the Salvador Dali's painting?
Allegedly.
That's just them fucking with it.
That's just part of the bit of them
That's the
making
fragile-
fun of Doug,
yeah.
the fragile
Okay,
masculinity.
As a man who was in college, I bought a bunch of stuff that I thought looked cool and made me look cool.
Yeah.
That's literally it.
Yeah.
But like they
That's
make
literally
it.
it.
But the way that it's worded, the problem is again,
Yeah.
they are not good actors, and the
Yeah.
way they deliver it, it makes it seem like we're trying to deliver it to show how eerie Doug is as a person.
Well,
No, they're trying
I
to like
wonder-
make fun of their friend.
I wonder if
They
the
are,
original audio made more sense.
Yes.
That's a possibility.
I think you can tell in some situations the original audio did make more sense.
Yeah.
Because certain things that they kept in the original audio,
I'm sorry, I'm neurodivergent. I can't tell sometimes to turn.
Oh, no
this
one
shit.
here can tell. We have no
Yeah,
idea.
none of us.
We have no idea.
The dynamic level that they were able to achieve in the original audio was so much more.
Yeah.
It sounded like when they
Emotional,
ADR'd,
yeah.
they didn't know how to ADR, and so
Well-
they were just in a booth
Well,
reading.
and recall the ending scene where he's running up the river to Bridge Guy
And
and
he's
screaming.
And it's the best acting.
Then
of
you're
the
like,
entire
yeah,
movie.
Cass said it there.
Yeah.
Like, that's actually the best acting. I said, you know, that reminds me
Yeah.
a lot of fucking of Blair Witch. Like, that's actually like pained, panicked acting.
I mean,
that's like this little
Yeah.
glimpse of, oh no, this is like actually what they sound like.
Yeah.
That's the realest audio you get. This
Yeah.
You can kind of tell. I'll point this out. You can kind of tell in the part where you were kind of like, "Hey, Spot, notice how this is not." I think Cass pointed it out. You pointed out when Fred is being
hear-
ripped apart
Yeah.
by the
Yeah.
things in the one room.
Yeah.
You hear him screaming while you have the really much cheesier
Yeah.
ADR dialogue over
Very,
the top of
very
it.
under there.
But you can hear him
And
screaming.
You
underneath.
can hear
Yeah.
him screaming as he like. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of instances in this movie, which I think is very funny. I will give it this, where people just keep flailing, opening doors, then other people close
Yeah.
the doors, then they flail open again with the same person flailing out of it, and then they close it again. Especially at the end, it was most obvious there, but they also was obvious then when like zombie Dr. Lucas is trying to
Yeah.
come and kill
They
Dawn.
open and close the door.
And he keeps
10
closing
times.
the door, and then
I
he
think-
keeps opening the door, and he keeps closing the door,
I think
and I'm
we
just
all want, like, we
So
all
what does that
want the
represent?
paranormal activity cut of just
My
the
ass.
original video,
Yeah.
video recorded dialogue on whatever internal camera that is.
Yeah.
I want that cut.
I'm not gonna
I
say-
want to hear that.
I'm not gonna say it would make it a great movie or even a good movie.
It would make it a
I'm
more
saying-
authentic movie.
I'm
Yeah,
saying
yeah,
hearing
yeah.
the original audio pre-ADR would have, from what we've heard so
Yeah.
far, would have made it
I mean,
a better movie.
There are even now we have access to, and I will say this very intentionally and very carefully, algorithmic
well,
audio processing
depending
that is not
on-
related to generative AI
yeah.
that can get rid of a lot of that background noise.
I think, I mean, that kind of goes back to the talk on ignorance. Because when you're in a recording studio versus when you're performing live, it's so much harder to get that live sound that you want in a studio. It's the same situation
If you
that
don't
I've
have
had,
the resources.
that I've had
Yeah.
with my show.
And clearly
Well,
he did
it's
not.
not just the resources, it's the know-how. Because
Sure.
you can be a fantastic singer and you go into a booth and you sing and it doesn't sound anything like you would when you're live. And
Well,
it's the
that's
same
why a
thing
lot of
here.
pop stars like just play the track over
Play
there.
the track, yeah, and they record it.
And to that point, you have to have a good audio engineer there working with you,
Very good.
because if they don't set the mic up or
Yeah.
the room up properly,
Yeah.
if you're trying to give emotional range, it'll peak.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because I mean, like it was peaking, and they're just fucking talking. Fred was going, "Oh, help me!" And it's like you can tell that he is on the cusp of peaking that mic out every time he says.
There's loads of instances where it does too.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Absolutely.
This is talking as someone who is predominantly an audio guy. So I'm listening to the audio, going, yeah, this is amateur hour, but But I have deliberately pulled lines back, before I really got a good sense of how to, even right now recording this, I'm running it through a filter so we don't have it peak as much when we can be as impassioned or disinterested in my case as we want to be.
That's one of the reasons why I really like the fact that we watch this in this crowd, because multiple members of this assembled film critique community, this panel, are audio people. We have all dealt with audio processing and recording in various environments. And we can all watch this movie and go, oh, they thought they could do that. And no, they can't. Oh, cool. That got let through. It probably shouldn't have, but hey, they did that. And it's a fascinating watch in incompetency of just the audio recording process. And I forget who said it, but sound is integral to horror. You cannot achieve horror without sound at all.
Correct.
People will say, oh, well, look at the silent movie era, and yes, there's something to be said for that. But for contemporary modern horror, sound is everything.
But
did silent movie have music and stuff?
They did have scores behind
They
it,
did,
sure, but even then,
even then, they had to use a lot of other techniques.
yes,
Yeah.
that was still artistry behind sound design.
And also, this was, you gotta remember, silent films were also the time when film just came into being, and people were like, oh my god, what is this? Holy shit. Somebody's coming at the screen.
It's a real fucking vampire.
And so and then
Hamlet.
Can't be watching this.
But this is
Hamlet.
Hamlet.
I just got bit by a fucking vampire.
This was when different techniques were also trying to be used to be okay, how can we make this work? We got the French close-up. We have German expressionism.
Yes.
This was all happening around this time, so they're testing out how do we make this work. And then when sound came into being, then they could actually more perfect it.
Can we make a link between things in German expression?
I was literally about to say, do you think there was any German expressions?
Was it intentional? No. Was it unintentional? Looking back at just
I think the movie was unintentional.
The hypnagogic...
I can't believe it's been an hour.
This is almost the entirety of the movie.
I'm gonna, please correct me if I'm not saying what you want me to say, but the silent 8-minute segment or whatever with all the lights, very, I can see it. I can see that being quasi Metropolis.
No.
Yeah.
I'm having fun.
Yeah, I mean...
Now, again, you have to have that in your brain and plaster it onto what you're watching.
Yeah.
Because it's not there on purpose. That's something you really have to kind of put it on there.
And
so I do have a question.
Wait,
sorry.
Continue. Were you
I just wanted to say one more thing, because I spoke with Alan about this on a recent episode of the Jaymeson tapes. We have this explosion of small budget horror, even though it has a large studio behind it. I'm just okay, we've rented a cabin. Everything's gonna happen in this one set. We have drone footage. That's it. That's all we're getting. You harken back to '89 when this film was made, and they're doing it on one set with one fucking camera.
Yeah.
And I think that's just an interesting juxtaposition to strike of, they did the same fucking thing. And I look to creators now of what's your fucking excuse? Well, we've only rented out one place. Shut the fuck up. Look at things. Things do the same thing you did. Yeah. What's your excuse? I just wanted to...
But here's another thing, too. It's we're using things as the movie we're exploring, but I could also say there's a lot of better movies who use one. I think The Man that came to... Oh, what was it? The Man from Earth? Which is a fucking fantastic film.
What was the film about?
All takes place in one location. One singular location. Honestly, it should just be...
One singular location.
The Deaf Woman. The deaf woman and like the intruder who's trying to kill her.
Oh, that's the one with Audrey Hepburn.
Yeah.
I know.
No, newer.
Oh,
Not the
newer.
blind woman.
Hush.
Hush
is
also
it?
happened to one place, but that makes sense because it's like this woman cannot hear things, and so like the cues from her environment are very important. That I'm like, okay, cool, that makes fucking sense. There's a lot of new movies where I'm like, dude, you could have multiple scenes and sets.
Yeah.
Like, what are you doing? Stop, shut up.
Hush has amazing sound.
Hush is amazing. Hush is really
good.
My question was gonna be, why do you think they decided to go with things over, if we're using your hypothesis, or over that other movie that they played on the TV?
I mean,
That
They
we thought
wanted-
was potentially just better.
I think they seriously
We don't know.
just wanted to evade copyright infringement.
yeah,
Okay.
That's my opinion.
that's my
Yeah.
opinion too. Just it's easy. They already filmed it, and they're like, well, we'll just use it, and then it's also them poking.
That's the
fun at them.
easiest,
started-
laziest explanation, and I hate to attribute that to everything they did in this film, but
Yeah.
Right.
Let's be honest. It's 1989. These are guys who usually
Random Canadians.
I mean,
leave.
1989, I don't think about copyright infringement. It didn't exist until,
It
2010.
didn't exist.
It didn't exist.
I will say, in this era where people are saying, "Look what I made," and it's slop.
Yeah.
It is nice to go back and remind yourself that people, even something like this, had some modicum of actual human effort put into it.
Yeah.
And whether
okay.
or not it hold on, whether or not it succeeded or failed, it was still an effort. There were people involved, and actually watching the credits and seeing these things
How
and the
many
way they put
people?
effort in it,
Yeah.
like, actually gave me a little bit of a warm fuzzy for a
Like,
moment.
There's-
I want
okay.
to pose one
Okay.
question before Alan brings his point in. Raise your hand if you have spent at least one day on some friend's absurd project that included all of you just putting in a bunch of time that you did for no pay and lost sleep
Yeah.
on, but you had a fucking wonderful time doing it.
Yes.
Everyone here.
That's-
That is worth
I was in
its weight
Questus.
in gold. There is no substitute for that.
I remember that.
Another, I will say another thing too is there is okay. The one thing I can say about this positive, there is modicum of effort. I don't think it's less of a the fact that they did put in effort. There is effort put in.
They tried, didn't
but
try
I don't
hard,
think
but
they.
tried.
It's the lack. Okay, it's
All right.
the talent wasn't there yet. Maybe they've gotten better. Who knows? I don't know what they've done.
Well, one of
since
them does have a music career.
Okay.
So maybe they got better since
One of
then.
them had a
But
very
at the
successful
time,
porn
the talent
career.
was there. But because you see the puppetry they did for that fucking ant creature.
Yeah.
They still made that. They still did that.
Yeah.
They did blood. They
They had gels for lighting.
Yeah.
Allow me to state the moral
Please.
Okay.
of this podcast. You can have a huge budget. You can have incredibly talented actors. There is no replacement for sincerity.
No.
No.
Yeah.
That's the word I was searching for. It is earnest.
Yes.
Earnest.
It is
Sincerity.
earnest.
You can
They
tell
they
had
just
fun.
they just
Yeah.
announced the release of a documentary called Mockbuster,
Oh.
and it's about Asylum Studios. And I'm excited to watch that film,
Yeah.
but I kind of hate Asylum Studios.
Same. It feels very low.
It
effort.
all feels very low effort and cynical.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. This is not low effort.
There's
It's
Whenever-
It's earnest.
It's
Whenever I tell
it
people-
isn't,
low
and that's
skill.
what makes it fascinating.
Yes, I'm saying, yeah.
low skill,
Whenever-
not necessarily.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
Working with what you got
Yeah.
and your own level of
Yeah.
skill, you still get together with
talent
people.
is not the word.
Yeah.
Skill.
Well, and I mean, like,
Skill, yeah.
Alan and
There
I-
it is.
Alan and
When
I
I-
talk all the time about what movie would we make as our first production, and we always come back to we're going to do a found footage film. It's not going to be great, but it's going to be something that we love. So to purport that we would make something better than Things, probably, but it didn't. Would we actually? I don't fucking know. I don't have a lot of experience. I don't.
Yeah.
Maybe we.
That's just the optimism.
I made a movie.
Exactly.
I made a movie for the Spice Boys. I did a behind the scenes movie, and it could be better than Things, but it is the low scale a lot of effort.
Yeah.
It's the first movie I've made. It's the first movie I've cut together, but
Anytime-
it took a
anytime-
It took
I will
a
say
long time.
the one disappointing thing is they could have been a little more skill in those sandwiches. Like I'm like, it's
I mean-
really that hard to add like.
No, that was a deliberate
All he
artistic
has
choice.
Is bread and beer
There's
and spiders.
There's a
Spiders.
thought
One
process.
spider.
There's a thought process. So I used to teach from 2016 until the beginning of last year. I taught music, right?
Yeah.
And music is a form of expression.
Yes.
Yes.
The enjoyment of music is subjective,
Absolutely.
definitively.
Yes. Absolutely.
And so if a kid couldn't replicate something perfectly, I could say, okay, you need to practice this. Does it make them bad?
No.
Exactly.
It's,
No, not at all.
Because it's like I said, as soon as David said skill, it's like you're right. It's not talent, it's skill.
Well,
Yeah.
and as a
And
direct
skill you can get better at.
as a direct response to that, I remember watching a music teacher who was experimenting in kind of just like not atonal, but just like different types of musical expression to their students. They said like, okay, and this is like kids with no musical training, no prior.
What are you doing, Gracie?
She's rubbing her face against him.
She's fine. Like no
Gracie.
musical exposure. And she said, okay, here's a major chord. They went, oh, yeah, that's nice. Then she gave them like a diminished atonal chord. And they said, oh, well, that's interesting. That's complicated. And they actually had more to say about it. And that's kind of how I view movies like Things. Yes, it doesn't make you feel good. It's not the fucking Minecraft movie. But here we are spending
I don't know that
an hour and 11 minutes talking about Things for all of its faults, for all of its inconsistencies and its incompetence.
There's
It was a very consistently
I
incompetent
think-
movie.
I
Exactly.
think it is possible. You may have to correct me on this. It is possible we have now been dissecting Things for longer than the runtime of Things.
Very well.
we might make it.
We might make
We
it.
do have to say our spider room moments and
We
make
will-
a cocktail.
Yeah.
We'll
so.
definitely make
Yeah,
it.
we gotta.
But
But
okay,
we're
I
almost there.
Sorry, we've
I was not done with my point earlier.
I'm sorry, Alan.
Sorry.
So there's a movie I've watched once, called Ant Farm Dickhole.
What the fuck?
I've not heard of this. I was gonna pee.
Ant Farm Dickhole is a movie about a guy who gets bullied, and then a queen ant takes up residence in his dick.
Yeah.
And then a bunch of other ants come into his dick, and then whenever people bully him, the ants come out of his dick and kill people.
That's kind of awesome.
Wait, I feel like I've heard of
That's
this.
actually really valid.
So okay,
It's valid.
so I heard that and was over a decade ago. I heard about this movie and was instantly like, I have to watch it.
Yeah.
Why does this sound so?
And I watched it. I didn't have a great time,
Sure.
Why not?
and I think that comes back to what I said about sincerity.
Yeah.
Because everyone involved in the making of Ant Farm Dickhole knew they were making a bad movie,
Sure. Yeah.
knew they weren't taking this seriously, knew they weren't trying to make anything to set the world on fire or anything like that. And I don't think the makers of Things thought they were making something that was going to set the world on fire.
No.
Or anything like that. And I don't just want this to be a show that rips off Red Letter Media.
No.
But there's a thing they said on the show, which is what makes an interesting bad movie is that someone tried and they failed.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes,
Yes.
there it is.
Yes.
And that's what happened here.
Yeah.
Mhm.
There is effort.
Yes. Yes.
That's why I don't go in for those asylum movies. They're very cynical.
Same.
Yeah.
Same. Yes.
They know what they're doing and they execute it perfectly, and it just happens to not be
They
good.
execute mediocrity very well. And
Yeah,
I'm not
they are
interested
seeking
in
out to
mediocrity.
create
No.
mediocrity.
It's very.
I want to see something. I want to see something with earnestness put into it.
And it was someone on the Red Letter Media, like either a video or a Reddit post or whatever, that said like, I would rather watch interesting failure than corporate mediocrity.
There you go.
And that really has painted my viewing habits of just cinema for the last like 20 fucking years. of like, what do I want to go watch? I'm not going to watch the Minecraft movie. I'm going to go watch Weapons because I have no idea how the fuck that's going to turn out. But goddamn, does it look interesting?
Mm-hmm.
And that's it feels like a low bar, but it's really just an ask of like, hey, do you want to try to do something different? That's all I'm asking for people.
Yeah.
That's it. And Things, for all of its faults and failures, is interesting.
Agreed.
Like, for everyone that Cas has shown it to, like, everyone must have come away with a slightly different perception of it, I'm sure.
No, they all fucking hated it.
Well, sure, they hated it, but...
No, some of them don't talk anymore.
So,
my girlfriend hates me.
I'm so sorry.
Things good at home, Cass?
Yeah,
I'm so sorry.
No.
What order do I usually do this in?
Well,
it's
next
usually
next we do
cocktail first, right?
No, we do Spider Room.
Oh, okay.
I was gonna add one last thing, which is
thing.
the effort. You guys are talking about the effort that they put into the movie.
Yeah.
There is something to be said with recording an entire movie and then having to redub over it.
Without your
and then having the dedication to actually redub over the entire movie. Like, it could be a project of like, oh, we filmed this whole thing, it's an hour and a half long. Fuck, we gotta record everything over again.
Yeah.
Man, I was thinking
just
Fate.
throw it in the trash.
But they actually went through with
recording all the lines over again.
I made a joke earlier just to Alan where I was like, I referenced Patton Oswalt's bit about deathbed, the bed that kills people.
That eats people.
Yeah.
Deathbed,
And
bed
it's
that
like
eats
people,
Yes.
Yeah.
people woke up and brewed coffee to give people the fuel to act in and perform in deathbed, the bed that eats people.
Yeah.
No, I agree.
That was
Yeah.
my final thought.
Anyone else have any final thoughts?
None
Before
that
we-
I haven't already
Well,
said.
no, I'm kidding.
Okay.
What do you
So-
think the representation is of the...
Shut the fuck up. Shut the fuck up. The bit's done. It's been an hour and 16 minutes of discussing this film. We have to get to our Spider Room moments.
Spider Room.
And I mean, typically there's only two of us.
Yeah.
So who wants to go with who has a Spider Room moment on deck?
For the uninitiated, and I know what it is, but what quantifies a Spider Room moment?
So it's the definition of a Spider Room moment. I think we tried to debate what the definition was before.
We did.
I think the only real definition that fits is you know it when you see it.
Yeah, it's the definition of obscenity via the Supreme Court. I know it when I see it. That's it. It's a poor definition, but it works for this.
I guess the loosest definition, though, is I think it's the moment in a movie that broke your brain.
You kind of crack when you see it. Yeah.
The moment that, like, almost removes you from reality with how insane it is.
Yeah.
So, no joke, when I first watched this, I would have said the Spider Room moment is that, like, torture scene. Because
Yeah.
the reason is I actually mistake Doug with Dr. Lucas.
That's fair.
And I was
Yeah.
like, why
That's
is
fair.
Doug doing this?
That's fair.
What the fuck does that have to do? And then later, now after a couple of viewings, I realized, oh, it's a different person.
And I don't blame you for thinking that, because the background through that whole nightmarish, surreal scene was just, I want your baby.
Yeah, that's why I was, I think that's, you know what, and now after watching it, I think that's still the Spider Room moment for me. Because with the I want your baby scene said, I'm like, what the fuck? Because that was attributed to Doug earlier. Why are you doing this to me?
For me, it has always been, because I've seen this multiple times, so I'm not going to say what it was this time, but it's still cutting to Amber Lynn and then cutting to Johnny.
That's
Johnny
one of mine.
being in a different room
Yes.
and the audio being
Yes.
so horribly distorted.
Oh, fuck.
So it's like it's not just like we have the original plot that we have, the exposition, then it's hard cut. Then it's
Johnny
hard
Scott.
cut again, and then just like injecting distortion into your face of like, hey, I'm also here, and then you're gone.
Yeah.
It's such a fucking
You don't
whiplash
see him.
That like the first time I saw that when we were blasted as hell, I was just like, what the fuck? What just happened?
I think that has to have been our hardest laugh the first time we watched the movie.
No, it was.
It was
so hard.
Even better that in that news segment, that's literally all he says.
Yeah.
Hey, I'm
He
Johnny.
just introduces himself,
and you don't see him.
That's
You see
it.
for like
nothing
45 more minutes.
It's the most
You just see
fuck
Johnny
you
Scott.
moment of the fucking film.
Yeah.
It's different video quality.
Yes.
It's different audio quality. He's clearly...
It's a different
He might
set.
as well be on another fucking planet.
Yes.
It's like between two firms wished it could do that, but it can't because it's too self-aware.
Yeah.
You can't
It's the
replicate
perfect
that.
it's the perfect example of something that's so funny that you can't do it on purpose.
No.
They couldn't rent out the Radio Shack to film Johnny
You
Scott in the
can't.
same
You
set.
cannot.
They had to go somewhere else.
Like maybe I Think You Should Leave could pull that off. I think they're the perfect
Maybe.
example of that
Maybe.
flavor of comedy.
But it would be tough.
But yeah.
Yeah.
Who's going next?
I want to hear Brad.
Yeah. Well, do you want to leave Brad and David for the end?
That's a good.
Yeah.
Okay, Kat.
Oh, I guess mine. I have two that I really like, which is Don's story about Harold.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's pretty good.
That is a
That's
very
Oh,
good.
yeah,
That is a very good choice.
Yeah.
Because Doug, right after the story ends, is like, "What the fuck are you talking about?
Yeah.
My wife is
It is the one moment of the character
Yeah.
speaking for the audience.
Even now, it's like, is that a real movie he's talking
Yeah.
about? I don't
So-
know.
That's one of the other one is a little bit like kind of less in your face, but it is during this 7 to 8 minutes of silence where Doug is on the outside of the bathroom and he's scratching on the door, and then Don comes out and looks at him. He's like, and he doesn't say anything, but his face just says, "What the fuck are you doing?" And Doug kind of turns around. And he's like, "You caught me, or I'm being an idiot, whatever." I can't even explain what emotion he's putting on his face.
And the funny part is we're like watching this and
Yeah.
we're like, didn't your wife just die?
Yeah.
What the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
So
And the water beer.
Yeah.
okay,
Water
yeah,
beer.
water beer is
Water
good.
beer
Water
is-
beer's
yeah.
pretty good.
I'm taking myself back to the first time I watched this film.
Yeah.
And you had mentioned the 7 minutes of quiet.
Yes.
I think, like, all the other times I watched this movie, the first time we watched this movie, there was so much of me laughing, so much of us joking together,
Yeah,
so much of us wondering what the fuck was going on.
Yeah.
When there was just a solid 2 minutes of silence of him shining a flashlight around in a bathroom,
Yeah.
I think is when I was the most, like, my eyes glued to the screen leaning forward.
Yeah.
Like, I can't fucking believe this is happening. I can't fucking believe we're watching 2 silent minutes of a dumpy guy with no shirt on
Yep.
shining a flashlight around in an empty bathroom.
Well, it achieves something that modern movies for me don't, which is just like, I'm actually glued to the screen and I'm not looking at my phone. I'm not talking to my partner. I'm actually fully invested in what's happening because I don't understand what I'm looking at. And that, for me, right there, is the measure of, do I like your movie in the year of our Lord 2026? And Things achieves what billion-dollar budget films does not.
And I'm sorry that I have... there is nothing more perfect than the way that movie ends, and then just bringing up a title card that says,
You just
"You just experienced
things.
things."
You didn't watch things, you
that.
experienced.
You know, that's a big one. That's
It's a
the
fucking bold choice,
It's
and
the
it earns
best.
it, and
best way to end this movie.
I want to hear what David's.
I want to hear
Yes.
David's Spider-Man.
David, what is your spider room?
You all
moment
picked
for
such good
things?
ones. I was almost in accordance with you about just the whole cutaway to Dr. Lucas basically in his lab torturing a guy for no reason with his like burnt arm. Like, what is he even doing? Pulling out his tongue, pulling out his eye, slitting his, calling his like assistant a bitch constantly.
I just want to say that I am almost always very mindful of people's phobias, because I have the puppet phobia.
Yeah.
This movie has a ton of puppets and doesn't bother me, which is why I also didn't feel the need to warn David about someone
Because
getting
it was not.
because it's the fakest fucking eye removal scene ever.
The only time I looked away was when Dawn started throwing up, and I was just like, "Oh, this is gross."
Is a very gross.
It reminds me of like pizza time.
So I almost picked the same thing because I'm like, this is just where I was just going, what the fuck with the like that, and then like the two guys with the gurney keep pushing past a corpse that's just hanging in a doorway like it's a fucking curtain.
Okay, all right.
And there's all the severed heads just hanging from the wall. This is like malpractice to the greatest degree.
It reminded me of us going through the fucking Queen Mary, but imagine if it was like, even more claustrophobic of like, no, like there's like one fucking, like tunnel here, and there's one corpse you can't get out.
I literally thought about that. I was thinking of the fucking feast maze, right?
Yeah. No. Yeah, the Dr. Lucas non sequitur scene really is just like the worst fucking haunted house you've ever been to.
It's the biggest middle finger.
Yeah.
It really is to the rest of the story.
It's like a medical skeleton.
And to your
randomly.
point, this is the first viewing where I ever committed to memory those two dudes with the gurney.
Yeah.
And how nothing that was.
They're just there. We're like, wired. Okay.
Yeah.
But that's not my spider room moment.
Okay,
I thought about it, and I originally was thinking about it, but then Kaela made a very, very wise choices. That was very close for me. For me personally, it was everything. It was almost everything, but it crescendos. It starts when Fred just shows back up out of nowhere with a chainsaw, running around the house, killing like multitudes of things that have like multiplied. Right?
Yeah.
He had disappeared off screen with just a spray of blood. They say he like disappeared into like a wormhole or some shit. And there's no explanation for it at all. There's no explanation for him coming back.
Couldn't pay his day rate.
Yeah.
He had to go back and he had to log back.
Oh gosh, sorry guys, I gotta go pick up the kids from school.
Okay.
So he goes around.
Wormhole.
So he goes around. He's killing the things. He gets overwhelmed. It starts when it's just Dawn creeping through the house while he's ADR screaming in the background, but it's like a bad comedy bit because he keeps talking about, oh no, you fuckers, come back here with my eye.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not dead, but I'm dying.
Alive.
I can't believe you ditched me, you fucker.
You can save me still.
You can still, they make parts, and I'm like, he's
They can
joking.
rebuild me.
And then he opens the door, and you see his like desiccated
It's
corpse,
his skull,
and his
yeah.
skull with one eyeball turns around and goes, oh, hey, Don. And actually like a little puppet.
Yeah.
And he's like, I'm still alive, by the way. And I'm like, that broke me.
Yeah.
I was just like, it was like
Yeah.
this. It
Fair.
feels like this weird bit of
amazing.
like comedy that completely doesn't land at all, and I still laughed.
Yeah.
I was the only other time I majorly laughed
You know what
during the
it
thing because it was so fucking stupid, and I loved
You're
it.
actually
say
screaming.
It kind of reminded me of. What do you think?
I know what you're gonna say because you said it to me at the time, Murray.
No, it's not Murray. I was actually thinking of the thief from the Thief and the Cobbler.
Oh,
Because like it's,
yes,
it's,
Jonathan
like,
Winters.
It's clear that he's just making. Jonathan Winters is just making
it
shit
up
up as he's just watching it, and I feel like that's what the actor was doing here.
Yeah, it was
So
just.
Arabian.
Well, I also want to know what he was originally saying, just because that
Got
is
my
the
coffee,
scene
read
where you
the
can
paper.
hear him screaming.
I think he was
the
just
word.
originally screaming, and then
Yeah.
there's,
Okay.
Can we do Thief and the Cobbler and Jaymeson tapes?
Brad.
Okay.
I kind of actually want to do Get Even now.
No, we're gonna do Get It.
Oh,
But
we will,
James,
yeah.
sorry.
I'll fly out.
Spider a moment.
So there are a few, like obviously the doctor's office.
Yeah.
But by that point, I was still so lost. I thought that it might be another dream.
Yeah,
So
sure.
I
Fair
was
enough.
like, okay, I'll wait. I'll suss this out later. There are the joke definitely for sure when he tells the
Yeah.
joke about Harold.
The story,
Yeah. But again, as I was watching that, even because of the ADR, I couldn't tell who was saying what.
Yeah.
And so we were like commenting on like, why is this happening when this guy's wife has just died?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The dude being zapped out of existence for a minute definitely was a moment for me. I'm gonna tell a weird spider room, which is when it was one of the moments I realized I needed I needed to create the joy that I was going to experience with this movie. I think part of it was when it happened, and I apologize for this. I can't even tell you what the line of dialogue was. But when it happened, Doug turned straight to the camera and delivered a line as if to the audience.
Like I know what you're talking about.
And I remember watching that and going, okay, I don't know that this, because like that's fun. That's a fun choice, but I don't know that the choice was made consciously to be a fun choice. I think that they thought, oh, like it'll be creepy if we break the fourth wall or something.
He's dead. I know he's dead.
Yes.
He's dead,
He's dead. I know he's dead.
It's super underlit red light.
Yeah.
All right.
That one, because that was the moment for me where I was like, okay.
Can I hit you guys with an honorable mention spider moment?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
The fact that amidst all of this insanity, Don falls asleep not once but 2 times.
Yeah.
Well, and that therefore creates 2 different possible dream sequences, so we actually don't quite know the actual veracity of the events. And I didn't realize this until my 4th fucking viewing. Someone says, "Can I take you back to Sacramento?" Yeah. Did they drive from Sacramento? What does that entail?
Yeah.
Because they're like on the East Coast above New York State.
Aren't they in Grizzly
There's-
Pass, California?
No.
What was it? They said that.
Because Anne Brennan was like, oh, out in New York State, there's a bunch of like power outages.
Yeah.
Where are they? Where did they come from? It's almost out of sight, out of mind. Again, it's very hypnagogic. I don't know what the fuck they are.
Yeah.
So you know how in the past we've talked about Spider Room moments that are too easy?
Mm-hmm.
That we have disqualified as Spider Room moments because it's the clear, obvious choice?
Yeah.
I want to talk about the fact that it's usually... This show is usually just the 2 of us.
True.
And we decide that ahead of time.
Yeah.
Like, this is clearly the Spider Room moment, but we have to pick something other than this.
Yeah.
Because this one insane thing that happened was so insane that we can't pick it as the Spider Room moment. Because it's the winner.
Yeah.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. There are 6 of us right now. We all did our Spider Room moments.
Yep.
And we did not talk about the opening scene of this film.
True.
It's because it's so obvious. It's too obvious.
It's too easy.
Yeah.
It's also clearly a dream, and I could see.
Well,
yeah.
Well,
clearly he's
best
clearly he's generous.
It's a
Best
dream.
part of the movie.
It's implied to be a dream, and I can see why. The thing is, I can see why.
Listeners. There's another like unofficial thing we do on the show aside from Spider Room moment and our cocktail, which is, do we recommend this movie? And I think I do.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
No, okay, let me rephrase it.
If you can get some friends together with some cocktails.
Do not watch it alone.
No,
do not watch it
alone.
sober and alone.
watch it with a accompanying adult. You're gonna need a chaperone.
Watch it with
Depends on the
friends.
adult.
A designated driver.
Yeah, there it is. There
Watch
it
it
is.
with substances.
So, I guess be warned that this movie opens with titties and full bush.
Full bush.
Old.
When you watch this
80s
movie-
bush.
Full frontal nudity.
What I want you to do is I want you to abandon everything you know about cinema and simply just be along for the ride. And if you watch this once and you're like, I'm good, I'm never going to watch it again, more power to you. If you are weird, demented freaks like the rest of us who are going to watch it multiple fucking times, welcome to the club.
What are you trying to say about me?
What I already said.
No, we're in that group.
We're in that group.
In a lot of ways, this movie's like Memento.
I had one question. Why did Dr. Lucas show up? Did somebody call him, or did he just show up?
That's my other honorable mention Spider Room moment, is every line of dialogue that comes out of the mouth of Dr. Lucas.
It's amazing. Sorry. One. You know what? Honorable mention Spider-Man is Dr. Lucas's laugh.
Yes.
He's just like.
Wait, we have to make a drink for this.
Yeah. now is the time when we do have to make a cocktail that we feel represents
something
this
that
movie.
involves bread.
The full
Like,
bush.
or wheat, or...
You know what? Okay, I got it. And this might be a real big cop-out, but get whatever random beer you can find. It doesn't fucking matter. Water said beer down.
Yeah.
Yes.
Put that
Okay.
into a large pint glass. Put a piece of bread, not
Yeah.
toast, bread into it.
Yeah.
And
That's it.
And
one
whiskey.
of those little plastic Halloween spider rings.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's it.
Well, top it off with a whiskey of choice.
No.
They have whiskey.
Oh, you
Yeah,
did right.
yeah,
there
they
is
have
whiskey. Okay.
And then-
So
what's
this
a real
might be a
cheap
boiler.
Canadian whiskey?
Crown Royal.
Crown Royal. Okay,
Yeah.
so it's a Boilermaker.
It's a Boilermaker into watered down beer.
with bread.
With the bread garnish.
And if I can get local for a moment,
Yes.
we're talking bread, we're talking beer.
Mhm.
It's a watered down Boulevard wheat, Curtis, from Kansas City, Missouri.
Oh, no. Yeah. Okay.
It's a wheat
yeah.
beer
Oh,
that
God.
you've watered down, and you're dropping a shot of Crown Royal into
Yeah,
it.
and you have to do it naked. You can't shave for like.
You have to do
at
it
least
topless.
a
You have
month.
to take your shirt off to do it.
Extra points if you're wearing a devil mask when you do it
Yeah.
too.
Yeah.
Full bush or
And
go home.
And a
Don't
chaser,
push it, go.
a chaser of red food coloring and corn syrup.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah, and you got to be watching
And again-
Berlin in the background.
And again, in the glass please do not choke. But there is going to be one of those plastic Halloween spider
Yeah.
rings.
Yeah,
And
Yeah.
what are we calling this?
the full bush.
The drink.
Yeah, you've just experienced
Drinks.
this drink.
You just
You've just
experienced
experienced this drink.
Yeah. There we go. Yep.
Amazing.
There we go.
Hey guys.
Strychnine.
Hey guys. This podcast is longer than things.
But you know what?
How long is things?
It's more entertaining.
It's like 80 minutes or some shit.
It's like 85
It's
minutes.
like, yeah, an hour
Yeah.
and 15 minutes or something.
We're past 90 at this point.
Wow.
Should be.
Well,
Oh my God.
thank you for joining us. Okay, so I had a lot of expectations about how this episode was going to go,
They've all
and
been
none of them
seen.
were this. This is, in my opinion, gold.
Yes. absolutely.
Pure gold.
Thank you for joining us. It has been lovely to be here with friends. It's lovely to have you join us as our friend. And we can't wait to watch some more good, bad, unintelligible films. And have a few drinks with you.
Gary.
Harold.
Anyway,
Gary's gonna freak out.
Don Knotts.
Yeah.
Don Knotts. Tiffany.
anyway, bye.
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 Bye, everybody.
The Jaymeson Tapes is hosted and created by Allen and Abysmii. If you have a movie suggestion for the podcast, please leave a comment, message us on the Creative Horror Discord, or tweet at Creative Horror with the hashtag Jaymeson Tapes. Creative Horror is a network of creators working together to build a constructive community of horror fans. Please visit us at creativehorror.com.